So the Greenleafs are on one accord.
The thing is, the cops saw it, so they didn't pull it.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. Thank you for clicking on the video. This is another review for Greenleaf. Y'all, we coming down to our last final episode. This is gonna be it after, well, I'm reviewing the fourth one, but we coming up on the end. I'm so sad. Anyway, let's get into the review. We start off with Grace and Noah. They're at the hospital talking to the doctor. AJ is still, I guess, getting tests ran on him, or, last minute tests, talking to people, last minute finishing up some stuff. So he can check out of the hospital. The doctor is suggesting that AJ go, and check himself into some type of, inpatient facility, so that, he can, they can look after him a little bit more and see what's going on and make sure that they don't have another suicide attempt. Of course, Grace want to bring him home, but the doctor's like, listen, it's AJ's choice. So whatever AJ wants is what we're going to go with. I'm just saying that if everybody's on board, if all three of us say, hey, AJ, want to go to this facility, then he might be more inclined to do that. But if y'all ain't on board with it, he ain't gonna be on board with it. And the doctor just want to commit the man. Then AJ comes back in the room, and they give him his options, and AJ's like, I want to go home, but I want to go home with him. And Grace is looking like, what? You don't even know him. I've been taking care of you. I saved your life. It's been me. And you want to go home with him? All right, whatever. So she can't do nothing about that. So that is what it is. Bishop, Jacob, and May are having breakfast, and Bishop wants to know, why Jacob would even believe that he would do such a thing. Like, he was like, what did I do in your life? What did I show you in your life that makes you believe that I would commit a murder? What did I do, Jacob? And Jacob like, listen, I don't know. I'm just telling you what the people were saying. And I'm just, I'm trying to figure out what's going on, just like you trying to figure out what's going on. And Bishop is worried that, Tara, I don't know how, it's Tara, potato, tomato, I don't know. But the other the other Skank's daughter, she, her last name is James, excuse me, but it's Basie Skanks, and Rochelle James, and she is Tara James. Got it. But anyway, they're worried, both May and Bishop are worried that, she got like a tainted view of things, and that, she could potentially stir up some mess, and it could be problems for the family. Like, they don't want her trying to come in and take the house. But of course Bishop wants to talk to her, so he like, I want to go see her myself so I can see what's going on, so that I can talk to her, and maybe we can come to an agreement about something. Like, I need to talk to her myself. And May was like, and your wife, Jacob, she the one stirred all of this up. She the one that got us all in this mess. And where is she? Upstairs in her lair that we're paying for. The shoes on his feet, I bought. The clothes on her back, I bought. And she up there laid up, conniving and scheming and scamming with the Latina to take the house. It's a scheme that Todd set up for him to come with the bullshit. And that's exactly what Carissa ain't nothing but, she ain't been nothing but trouble since we met her. I don't like that, Carissa. But May upset about that thing. And of course now she wanna see. She finna go see Carissa herself. But and James, Jacob, and Aaron need to have a sit down. They're gonna have a meeting, so that they can really look over this will and see what their options are and see what's what, because they can't lose the house, about to lose the church. Well, they already lost the church, so they cannot lose this house. When May told him, I don't pet the hand of the dog that takes food off my plate, cause he wants some slack, like stall him out, Debo. No, cause you and your wife got us in all this mess. You done brought her in this household. It's your fault too, Jacob. It's your fault too. You need to go. You need to figure it out. Whatever y'all got going on, you and Krista, you need to get that together. She don't even want to see him, and she excuses him. Well, dismisses him, not excuses him. She tells him, listen, I can't even look at you. Get out of my face and just go. May asks Bishop if he still wants to go to church at Calvary, at their last service or whatever. And Bishop is like, no. What I want to go over there for? That's done. But we can have church up in here. No, May said, well, we going to have church at least, at home. Just because, we're dealing with all of this does not mean that we stop praising God. So come Sunday morning, we having church around the house. Tell the family. Charity, Phil, and Judy, they're talking about Sunday service. And Judy's on her BS like she always is. She bringing up, the past with Calvary, because Charity's whole thing is she wants to do a PowerPoint and show, the history of Calvary, because most of the old people that were, in the congregation when Bishop was was over the church, they're still there. And she wants to, show them and the new people the history of Calvary. And Judy like, oh, what history? When Mac was touching on little girls in their privates? When Bishop almost shot a man in the church? It's like, Judy, okay, so you done read a tabloid or two. All right, whatever. And in those moments, I don't know. I know it's not written in, but I'd be really wanting Charity to just haul off on her. Like, I know we're not watching that show, but just for a moment, if only for a moment, can I just get a little bit of rage out of Charity, as it relates to Judy and Phil. My little thing bopping. Anyway, I don't want to jump the gun. Yeah, so anyway, they tell her no. Judy and Phil, they tell Charity that's going to be a no. That's a no-go. We're not doing that. We're going to do things the way that we want to do them. And, end of discussion. Sorry. Maybe next time. Grace hears the whole thing. She's in the room. Well, she's eavesdropping outside, and she hears the whole thing. And she comes in, she's like, see, sis, you don't even need to be dealing with this. Because I'm sitting here, like, I done seen with my own two eyes how they treating you. I got an idea. Me and Darius, we've been working on this, that, and the third. And we need to figure out, well, we done figured out who Phil's daddy is. And his name is Marcus DeMars. And so we need to find him. They found out also that Phil's mother, her name is on a whole lot of, different documents and things of that nature as it relates to H&H. And she dead. And been dead about 20 years. So that's suspicious. And the daddy, we can't find him. So, they need Charity's help. Are you on board? And Charity, she got to think about it. I don't know. I'm associate pastor now. And it's like, girl, of an H&H church. You really pulling that card? You got to think about it. Okay. So she got to think about it. And she pondering on it or whatever. And ends up telling Grace, well, the reason you can't find him is because that's not his name anymore, that he don't exist by that name anymore. He is Yusef Shabazz now. He used to be, a member of the Black Panther movement, and he changed his name, and now he lives in New Orleans, near the French Quarter. Bet, we out. Let's slide. Charity don't go, though, of course. Of course. Oh, and we gonna try to get Judy up out of there too. All of them. We got to get all of them out, especially Judy. That's what drives it home for Charity. When Grace is on board to get Judy out, Charity like, okay, now you talking my language. Now you talking my language, because I want her out too, sis. I want her out too. Carissa, she in the room, and May come in there knocking. Is my grandson in here? No, he's at chess. Oh, okay, good. Because what I got to say ain't for a child's ears, let alone mine. She lay into her, of course. And first, Carissa sit down and she's like, May, I don't have time to play around. I don't have time to have this conversation with you because Dante is on the way and we about to discuss, what's happening or whatever. And of course, May is like, about that. You done came up in here, you done schemed, you done scam, and trying to play us, blackmailing this family. Like, girl, get out. You know what I want you to do? Go. I want you to leave. Just leave. That's what I want you to do. And Carissa's like, but I mean, what? She said, I don't even want the divorce. And May is like, well, why are you getting it? And she's like, well, I mean, your son is the one that wants the divorce. I don't want the divorce. And she asked her why. She's like, that's between us. And she said, well, tell Jacob in private that I put you out, and that can be between y'all two. Good day. And on her way out, Carissa just blurts out, I cheated. I had an affair. And she said, but Jacob, and it was one time, and Jacob can't seem to forgive me. After he's had multiple affairs, and then she started running down a list of all the women, Tasha Skanks, the other girl from the assistant, and then some lady that worked in the house before Marisol did. And then when she says her name, I forgot her name. We just gonna call her Rita. When Rita's name pops up, May is like, oh, closes the door and sits back down. Do tell. What else is going on? And now May feeling a little empathy for her, because it's like she has endured and put up with a lot from Jacob, and she messed up this one time. And for me, I don't think it's just that one time, because I remember a few seasons ago when she and that man she was working with at that school were a little, and she had said to him, no, that can't happen again. We can't do that anymore. I don't know if they were just spending time together or what, but she was having an inappropriate relationship with that man. I guess he was her assistant principal at the school. I ain't forgot. But May takes her side or whatever, and then Carissa tries to flip it again, and she's like, listen, if you can get him to forgive me and apologize, I'll let it go. But if he want to fight, if he want to go there, then it's on. Game on. And walk out. I'm like, girl, Carissa, you got your nerve. Because we ain't forgot that she was just about to put you out, and you still on a high horse. You can still get out. So don't do that. Don't do that. Aaron, Jacob, and Bishop are meeting up about the will, and Aaron tells them, essentially it's legal. The will is legal. Everything is legal. It just looks bad. Optics. It just looks bad because Mac is dead. Basie is dead. We don't know. Jury's still out. And who else is involved? Mac, Basie. Oh, and Daryl James. He dead too. So all them people gone, and then you left with all the riches. Yeah, it looks bad. And any jury would see it as, what it looks like. Because it's not a case on, forensic evidence or, nothing like that. It's all circumstantial. And, and more times than not, when we dealing with circumstantial evidence, however it looks, it could go bad. It could go bad. So, still, they have to, figure out what's really going on. And Bishop still really wants to talk to that Tara girl. While they're talking, May comes in and she wants you. I need to speak to you privately. And Jacob was like, about what? Privately. Now what's going on? And Bishop tells May about, what's happening with the will, is legal and all of that. He want to go talk to Tara about it. And when he leaves, he's like, it's good, because she's worried. She's like, listen, Rochelle did a number on us. Basie has done a number on us. What makes me believe that their other sister isn't different? Like, she's probably one and the same. So be careful. Bishop ain't worried about all of that. He got a good feeling. May, she calls. Grace. I'm sorry. Grace called Mr. Shabazz. Oh, and he was rude. Grace called him, and at first he thought she was a reporter, somebody, and she starts, well, I called because, I spoke to, I think, did she say she spoke to Tara? No, she mentioned Phil. First she mentioned the ex-wife, and he was like, strike one. Then she mentioned Phil, strike two. And she had one more. She wanted to talk about something else involving them, and that was that. And he just hung up on her. And so she just sitting there like, well, darn. She ain't really getting nowhere with Mr. Shabazz. May talks to Jacob, and she pretty much, first she started quoting all these different scriptures that revolve around not judging somebody. And, holding yourself accountable first before you judge somebody. And so Jacob is like, okay, I know them. Is this a pop quiz? What we doing? And, she's just like, listen, that woman has endured a lot. She's put up with a lot from you. And Jacob the whole time keeps saying, but did she tell you what she did? But did she tell you everything? And she's like, I don't care what she did. You're gonna forgive her because she's forgiving you. And God has forgiven you. So you gonna forgive her. And Jacob's like, all right, I'll try. I'll try to go in there and do that. Cause she reads him. She, cause she's like, it's not even about all of that other stuff. This is about how you treat women and how you feel about women and how you obviously feel about me. And he's like, but you never did nothing like this. And she's like, ooh. And what if I had? Listen, you know what, Jacob? I don't even want to look at you. Again, I don't even want to look at you. So just go. Because she was almost, her slip was showing and her skeletons was almost out of the closet, because he don't even know, that Aaron is not his half brother, but Grace's half brother. He don't know about her affair with, I was finna call him Ray. What is his name on this show? Well, I don't remember what his name was on this show, but no, is it Ray? He Ray on Sister. But I can't remember. But anyway, Jacob don't know about, his mother's affairs. He think, she perfect or whatever, but she sent him on his way so he can go apologize. Charity, she's at the church and she stops Connie and she's like, oh, did I tell you that I want to do a little PowerPoint presentation or whatever? And she was like, I asked Phil and Judy about it, but they said no. And Connie gonna say, oh, you did? Well, now I'm saying no too. And turned around and walked away. She deserved to get tripped up. Like, girl, what? Watch your mouth, Connie. Watch your mouth. Because that was, she didn't even have to be that nasty. Like, she could have, amused her a little bit. But now it was like, oh, you did? They said no. Oh, well, now I'm saying no too. Because I'm on board with anything they say. It's team everybody but the Greenleafs, as it, as it concerns Connie, because Connie ain't for nobody in that Greenleaf family. Nobody. Not May, not Bishop, not the kids, not the grandkids. She don't see it for none of them. Bishop, she pulls up on Tara because, he wants to set things straight. Then we see Grace at home with and AJ and Noah walk in. They got to come and get AJ's things. And immediately Grace goes to Noah to, interject and, be a hover mom a little bit. Like, listen, I got these numbers. I know he going to be with you, but you need to call this person, that person, and the third and get my baby squared away. Because he's not, he's not asymptomatic, so we need to get him his meds. And AJ turns around. See, this is why I'm not staying here. Because I done told you I don't want to talk about that. And here you are talking about it. That's why I ain't staying with you, Grace. That's why. That is why. And then when he leaves, Grace go back to, like I was saying, the number is 678. Write this number down because my baby need medicine and I need you to make sure you go get that. Go get that. She talking to Noah like he ain't, a responsible adult or something like that. But what AJ has been in her care, more than he has been in Noah's. Like, he don't even know Noah, which is surprising that he even want to be over there with Noah because you don't know him. But whatever. May comes in. She all excited to see Noah. Noah! Oh, come and have tea. Would you have tea with me? Noah say, okay, I have some tea. So he go and have tea. Bishop, he goes and he's sitting down with Tara and they're talking or whatever. And Bishop basically, is just like, listen, this is what happened. I'm not the one that made the call, but I got a strong feeling that it was Mac that made the call. Since Mac is the one that set up the church being burnt down in the first place. So, listen, Mac definitely would be the one to have killed two birds with one stone, literally. So she takes that for what it is, and he's like, listen, is there any way that you and I can move past this, that we can work through this together, and move on? Is there any way that we can do that and just bury the hatchet, let it all go? She says that, I want you to know that I don't care about your riches. Like, that's not what this is about. Because he still wants to make sure that, the house stays with them. Because he tells her about the will and all of that. The original one, the second one. He tells her about all of that. But she's just like, that's not even her angle. She don't really care about that. Yeah, right. She's just hurt by, her father's passing and how it went down and all of that. Charity, she in her office, and Judy walk up in there, and Judy's like, oh, so did you talk to Connie about the PowerPoint presentation we told you that you couldn't do? And Charity was like, did. And Judy was like, oh, you did? Oh, you're fired. Charity's like, you can't fire me. Oh, girl, yes, I can. My daddy run all of this. And the only person that's more powerful than me up in here is Jesus. You fired. Pack your stuff, girl. And I'm Charity sitting there stunned. I was sitting there stunned too, like, oh, okay. Because she's like, oh, we can't have you going around. She said, because Charity was like, but the lady said no. She was like, yeah, that's fine. But you still went behind our back and went around us, and we can't have you doing that. So you're fired. That's it. Charity, of course, she runs right to Phil and tells him, and I forgot I had on eye makeup, so I want to wipe my little wing off. She immediately tells him what happened, and Phil is like, well, she already told me what happened, and I agree with her decision, because you can't be coming around here messing stuff up. Like, we got a plan. We're doing things in this way, and you can't go around us to do things your way. So, yeah, you were wrong for that. So he had Judy's back, and Charity read him down. That was a good, like, Charity don't get many of them scenes. She don't get many of those Lady May scenes. So when she have them, she gonna act. She gonna act, and she definitely did. Basically told him he's a waste of a man. Like, psh, you're pathetic. Like, I thought you was one way. I thought you was a certain kind of man, and that's not you. And that's sad. That is so sad. And she walk away. Like, listen, one thing's for sure, you can't fire my black ass. I quit. Girl, they already fired you. You can't try to quit on the back end. They already let you go. But I see what you was trying to do, Charity. I see what you was trying to do. That's okay. But they fired you, girl. Oh, because he told her they don't have time to make sure that she is madly, deeply on board. She's like, madly and deeply? That's Judy's favorite movie. Forget Judy and her favorite movie. Don't tell me about her favorite movie. He just loves to, like, it's like, do you want this woman to retaliate in a way where you are physically harmed? Philip. I don't even know if that's his name. But, I mean, do you want that, Phil? Because you just poke. You and Judy. Poke. And when that girl come out swinging, I don't want to see nobody looking cheap. Because you should have saw it coming. You acting crazy. Talking to her crazy. It's just like, Charity takes so much mess from everybody. I don't know. Grace, she walks in. She's walking and Bishop is driving, onto the property. He went and got something to eat. And he sees her and, he pulls over and stops and talks to her. She's a little discouraged about everything. He gets to the bottom of it, of course, because she's feeling a little jelly because AJ want to go stay with Noah. And Grace, listen, girl, move. Be still and let God come in and, make room for him to come in and move, in somebody else. Let God use Noah too. You done did your thing. Let him use Noah too. And you can relax. Relax. He's good. He gonna be all right. And Bishop get in the car and going on back to the house. Grace is like, I'll see you up there in a minute. Jacob and Carissa, they talk. And Carissa, she got the nerve and she want an apology. Yes, Carissa. I'm sorry, Carissa, that I left you so alone and made you feel so very alone in this marriage that you stepped out and had an affair. I'm so, ma'am, no. That's not how accountability works. Now, he can say, I forgive you for, your transgression, but it ain't his fault you cheated. Because he could have very well said to you, because, those are probably his reasons as well, Carissa, for cheating on you. Because you ain't easy to deal with. You ain't easy to live with. You ain't easy to love. Ain't hardly easy to love. So, I'm sure those were his reasons as well. And if he had come to her, saying to her, I'm sorry that you made me feel so alone, I had to go and be with the girl down to the church and Tasha Skanks. And the other girl. I was looking like, Carissa, no ma'am. If I was him, it wouldn't have been able to come off my tongue either, because I can't say it. I can't say it. And he couldn't say it. He can't do it. And she's like, oh, okay. Well, we're done. Peace. Bye. Jacob don't care. Jacob is done with her. For real, done with her. And she just, because it's like, do you really want to be with this man? You want your marriage to work, or you just want the illusion of it all? You just want to stick around and be a Greenleaf? That's what this is about. Because that's the only thing you're trying to uphold. Never mind y'all's failing marriage. Go see a counselor if you want to be together that bad. But no, she don't. She just wants to keep, the heirs. She wants to, remain in the family. No. Girl, get out of here. Sophia, AJ, and Zora are, they're hanging out or whatever, and the girls are trying to get him to stay. Of course, he ain't, he ain't staying, but they gonna try to get him to. Grace ends up walking in there, and she wants to talk to AJ. So Zora and Sophia go on about their business. And while they're talking, Of course, he's like, well, I'm really not staying. I am going to leave or whatever. And she's like, I know that. I know that. They have a cute little conversation. But before he leaves, he ends up leaving out, saying, that, everything's going to be okay. He's going to try it over there with Noah, whatever. Before he leaves, he comes back and gives her a kiss on the forehead. And it was like, oh, you love your mama. You do love her. And I'm sure that's what she needed, because she be feeling like AJ don't really care about her, or still has bitter feelings towards her, and he cares about her. He's there. The family thing is growing on him. Judy and Phil, they at home, and Judy, she always talking about Charity. For one thing, every time we see them, she running off at the mouth about Charity, or something Charity said, or something she don't like about Charity. She's always talking about Charity. She's so bothered. She thinks she gonna get down on her knees and give him head, and he's like, hold it, get up. Like, what are you doing? No, ma'am. But you never let and not get up. I don't like you like that. Don't know where you been. Have a good night. I got it. Have a good night. He was not trying to no physical nothing. This is for show, okay? And she down on her knees. But I just felt like we could get it back to the way it was, like practically begging, like, come on. No. Like, do he gotta thump you in the forehead? No, girl. Get up off your knees and go upstairs. And that's exactly what she did, going, what I'm gonna say, looking cheap. May and Bishop, they talking, and he tells her, what the issues with the will are, and May still can't believe that things are just over. Like, she, after talking to Tara, they really had a moment. And there are no issues, really. Like, she don't have no, qualms with nothing. They done prayed, they done cried, and had a breakthrough. He's like, he felt the Lord in the room. So he feel like, he feeling good about this whole situation. He feels like, it's over and done with. May she's still on the fence about it all. She still ain't really buying that things could possibly just be over and done with. Jacob, everybody is coming in, to eat dinner, by the way. Jacob walks in, May walks in, Carissa come down with her punk ass. She come in, and he tells her, listen, I tried with Carissa, but I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it, Mom. Sorry. Not gonna be able to do it. It's over. He really can't fake the funk with her. He's like, I can't. Me apologizing, me forgiving her would mean I had to stay in that marriage, stay in that situation. And I'm not doing it no more. I'm done. So he done. And what can May do but accept it? They tell, Bishop ends up telling Jacob as well that things are squared away with Tara. Things are good with that. May tells Jacob, because there's going to be a divorce. She tells him, listen, look at what your sister is going through with AJ. I need you to hold Winky close. Hold him tight. Like, you're his father. You are his father. Hold him close and hold him tight. And that was that. She just wanted to drop a little nugget, I guess. Charity and Grace walk in, and Bishop asks her something about church, because Bishop was reminding the family that they was gonna have church at the house, and Jacob was like, don't you got church at Calvary? And Grace is like, she quit. Not anymore. So everybody, the whole family, the gang is all here. Everybody is back to square one. The family is all together again, because Charity say she quit. Charity got fired. But I mean, if we want to say she quit, she quit. But she got fired. Zora and Sophia, they come in and come to dinner. Carissa come downstairs, and when she sit down, she sit like this, sit with her back to Jacob. Just petty. Girl, okay, we can't tell y'all having problems. You ain't have to sit next to him. It's other seats. You could have sat, across from him or somewhere else. You ain't have to sit right next to him if you got to do all of this. Oh, that Carissa. Bishop goes to pray over the food, and his phone rings. And it rang a couple of times, and it's Tara. And everybody's like, you might want to answer that. Go ahead and answer. When he answers, we don't hear the conversation. When he gets off, they're like, so what's going on? She want to talk about the house. Of course she does. Of course she does, because she done sat on y'all's conversation. She done went and talked to a homegirl or two. She done went and talked to a cousin, and they done convinced her that she's owed that house. So, yeah, she want to talk about the house. Not to mention, who did she call when she was calling somebody to tell them that Jacob and Tasha was down there in the first place? So, we should have known that she was with some mess anyway. Well, at least I knew that. That's where it ends out, by the way. But hopefully, I mean, we ain't really left on like no cliffhanger. Well, sorta, because she want to talk about the house. Like, do she want it back? What you want? What do you want to talk about the house? What you mean you want to talk about the house? What about it? I don't know. We'll see on the 5th day, which is the last day. I'm so distraught. What we gonna do? Watch P-Valley? If you're not watching that, go watch it and get into the review, because so far I think that I've only seen maybe like 2 or 3 of my favorite YouTubers review it. Actually, not even 3, 2, just 2 of them. I need to see more. It comes on. This is Greenleaf, but I'm just saying, P-Valley comes on Sundays, by the way, probably like 10 o'clock, because that's late night TV. But anyway, y'all be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's Call Me Busby, and I'll chat with you later. Peace and light.